Hi, and welcome again to another day of me just rambling. And today I will be talking about Neovim and showing you how I use Neovim in my day-to-day developer experience. Right. Basically, I've converted my terminal to an IDE using just Neovim plugins, and I'm just going to show you how I did that, or basically just show you the plugins I use for that. Neovim is just a text editor, all right, and you can use it in any terminal, all right. Basically, I use Ghosty, all right. You can use your command line on your system, the default, or you use other ones like Kitty, Westem, and so many others. Again, it doesn't matter the terminal you use, all right. Just basically whatever works for you, I guess. All right. Yes, Neovim sits in a config, right, and this is basically my configurations at the moment for Neovim. Right. In here we see we have what this is, I don't know. Right, so in here you see we have all our configurations written in Lua. We have our init.lua, we have our config with our plugins, right, and we use Lazy. So Lazy is just a plugin manager that allows you manage all your plugins, right? And in here you can see that these are all the plugins I use. All right. So what I'm going to do first of all is comment out this line, which is the line that reads all the plugins. I'm going to save and quit. Now once I load this guy, you see that this is what you get, just a bare terminal, right, with nothing there, right? And what I'm just going to do is show you how to convert this from this to an IDE. Again, let me launch my Tmux so I'll be able to show you using different section. Call it Neovim. Tmux new session .h. Yep, sorry, let me spell in there. Right, so with this now we have again Neovim, right, but it's just a terminal, so there's really nothing working. All right, so to just show you where my plugins is, come here, and here we have all our plugins, right. Come down. Right, then here we have our Lazy. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is install my theme plugins, right, and if you check our plugins, our theme plugin, this is what we use, right. We're using Tokyo Night for our plugin, right. And we're setting we're setting it to transparent. Yeah, transparent is true, if you can see. Yeah. Right, so to enable our theme plugin in Neovim, we first of all need to go to our lazy.config. Yeah. Then in here we import our plugins. From our plugins directory, we import the theme package. Once I save and quit this guy and I load, you can see now that our theme is now showing. Yeah, so this is just the very first step, enabling the theme, but again it does nothing more. All right, so the next plugin I'm going to show you is the Neo3 plugin. All right, so Neo3 again, where is it? Neo3. So Neo3 basically allows us to see all the files that we have on our current directory, right? And basically what that would help us do is help us navigate through files very easily without having to type this stuff, keep doing, and keep messing it up. All right, so I go to our config, go to our lazy.lua, go to line 22, copy this guy, paste here, then import our Neo3. All right, so once I save, I think I've saved already. Once I saved and quit, right, And to confirm that Neotree is installed, we check Neotree toggle, and you can see that we now have our files opened on the side menu, right? Then we can navigate. So another thing I want to show you is we've also enabled, again, I know this might be overwhelming for some, right? But basically what I want to show you is this line, right? So here we've configured a key binding or a shortcut, leader E, right? So anytime we press on leader E, it opens the side menu, right? And for leader, we've also set here our leader to be space. So I just need to type space E, and then it opens, space E, it's closed, all right? And then we can now move around easily, all right? So that's it with Neotree. The next plugins I want to show you is Lower Line, yeah. And the reason why, again, this is just aesthetics, right? But for those that knows Vim, right, knows that, or for those that use Vim anyway, know that we have 3 modes. We have the normal mode, which is where our navigation happens, right? So we use J to come down, K to go up, L to go right, and H to go left, yes, right, for the normal mode. Then we have the insert mode for typing. So with I, then it covers to insert mode where we're able to then type our text. Then we have the virtual mode, V, which allows us to, which allows us to do this highlighting of text, right? But so with Lower Line, we're able to distinguish, right, the mode we are currently on, all right, and then also show some other information. So I'm going to enable that by going to our config, lazy, go to line 23, right, copy, then Lower Line. I save. Now once I quit, once I quit and reopen, you can see now that we now have some other information displayed there, all right? So if I go to, say I go to ini.lower, right, you can see right now we're on our normal mode. Once I type I, we're in insert mode, and then we can start typing. Once I click or type on escape, it exits the insert mode and goes to normal mode. Then once I type in the word V, it turns to visual mode. Then I can now highlight text. All right. So that's basically what Lower Line does. All right. I guess the next one I'll be talking about is Telescope. Yeah. Again, Telescope is a very interesting plugin, and I think it's one of the plugins that I really enjoy using the most. All right, because it allows us do a quick search on our directory, so we're able to search for files, search for keywords, or search for basically anything, right? Even view open buffers. All right. Yes, ignore this. What I want to show you is, right, from in here. So these are the key bindings you use to do your search. All right. So here we have search for key maps, leader SF, search for files, leader SS for built-in, SW for grep, SD for diagnostics, like errors, right? So to enable this, I'll go to, again, our lazy.lower, right? Type in the word telescope, yeah. Telescope, yeah. All right, once with this, again, I make sure I save, then I quit. Okay, I need to also quit here and ignore the changes that I made here. All right. Now once I open our Neovim, all right, and we do leader SF, you see it brings up this where we can now search for files. So we can search for lazy, and then it shows you all the files that has lazy in the name. All right. Yeah. What other plugins do I need at the moment? Let me see. Indent line. All right. So indent line, again, is basically for indenting. All right, and it's not showing here at the moment, but what it does is, you see how to be able to easily locate where the opening and closing parenthesis or open bracket or curly braces are, right? Usually with our standard IDE, we have dotted lines that point, from where it opens and when it closes, and then you can trace and see all the functions that falls within a bracket, basically. All right, so that's what index line does. And to enable it, again, I go to my lazy, and then what I want to show you, right, is 24J, and then you're able to go to the line you want to. Index line, I think that's what I called it. Save and create, load again, and if you go to index line, right, so now you can see this line here and it's highlighted, so that shows you where the code that falls within a particular function, right? And if you can see, this is slowly turning to an IDE that you would use every day for your development. Then the other plugins we have is I was going to talk about, hold on, let me see, conform. All right, yeah, so conform is basically a formatter, right, that helps you format your code, right, based on the standard. All right, again, I'm going to just quickly do that, then show you what it means. Yep. So conform, basically. All right, so with this now, what it does is, again, if I move this guy, right, and I save, it doesn't auto format, right, it stays like this. But once I save this guy, create, go back and go to where I did that change, right, line 27, yeah. Right, so if I do leader F, you see it has auto formatted, right? So that's what conform does. It helps you format the code, right? Then if I go to conform again, you see that the formatters, it's based on the language itself. So each language has its own type of formatter. So for every language you do, you need to come in here and put in the type of formatter you want to use. All right, and then you see here we have format on save. The format on save ensures that at the moment when you want to save, right, if it's not formatted, it does the auto format. But if you want to reformat the code without saving, it has the F, yeah, so that's the binding you use to auto format your code. Yeah, so I think with these we've covered almost everything. Let me see. Yeah, so the next plugin I'm going to add is the TreeSetter. Right, TreeSetter basically is for syntax highlighting, right, and some other cool stuff that I don't even know, right, but basically it just helps you with syntax highlighting, right. And to hide it, of course, we go to our lazy.lower, right. Let's see, call it TreeSetter. Right, of course we save, we close the file, we load it again, right, and yeah, just believe that it has syntax highlighting. And we will add okay, let's add miscellaneous. So miscellaneous does, these are just other cool plugins that we have, like the which key, which I'll explain later. We have the autopass, which I'll also explain. You have to do comments and some other stuffs. All right, and to add it, of course, we go to our lazy.lower. Let's see, call it miss, right, then quit, right. So basically, let's go back to the miss. All right, first thing we did was to add which key, right. So one of the things we do with Vim is basically key bindings, right? And most times we might mess up the keys or might not remember which keys we need to use at some point, right? So which key allows us remember those keys by listing them down. When you type say leader, for instance, you see it has E for notary, F for format, Q to quit, W to save, S for other key maps, right? So F to search for files, right? So basically that's what key map does. Auto pairs basically close and open parenthesis or bracket. So if I do the open bracket, you see it automatically closes it. If I do the square bracket, curly braces, it closes it. Square bracket, it closes it, right? And then to do comment. So to do comment basically helps us add comments, right? To do comment. So this is how you add comment, and then it is highlighted. And I think there's a key binding that shows you all the list of to-dos, right, in your project, right? Yeah, that's all we have for miscellaneous. I call it miscellaneous. I don't even know if it's actually called miscellaneous, but yeah, I mean, miscellaneous it is. Git signs. So I'm going to add git signs. Git signs is very important for people that do collaboration. All right, so I'm also going to show you what it does. So add a lazy. Git signs, save, quit, right. I'm coming. So inside here we can see that we've added our git signs. But how do I show you? So if I had a new line here, okay, is this a git? Okay, it has to be in a git project, right? I don't think it's a git project yet. Okay, I'll show that later. All right, but then I think we've covered a lot of plugins, right? But then the very important one we need to add is the LSP, right? Which is again one of the important part of development, all right? And it's used across multiple IDEs like VS Code and other IDEs, all right? So we have our LSP config and our blink, right? But basically what it does is it helps with code suggestion, code actions, right? Go to definition, search for other stuff, you get. So not to take too much time on that. If you want to know much about this, you can drop it in the comment and I will maybe go into detail on how LSP works, right? But for the purpose of this video, I'll just quickly go ahead and add the plugins for our LSP. All right, I think we called it we should have the name LSP config, LSP config, and blink underscore emp. All right, then of course as usual we have to quit and reload, right? But to confirm the LSP bit, there's another stuff we call Mason, right? So Mason shows you all the LSP configurations and files that are needed or that you need to add, right? Depending on your language, right? So if you need a formatter, right, a linter, a debugging tool, right, you can do that with Mason, and this helps with LSP. Sorry, this comes with LSP anyway. All right, and with that, I think we've covered everything. And as you can see, I've successfully converted my terminal from a very bad terminal to an IDE that you can use for your actual development. All right, and to show you, maybe I'm just going to create a new project. Create a new project for make a directory here. Let me call it Neovim -go. Right, so I'm going to create a new Go project, Go mod init, github.com coming. I have to get the spelling right, you know. Slash test. No time. I think I messed up there. Right. So of course first thing we do is nvim new tree to see our directory. We create a new file here, we call it main.go. Right. And of course, so this is what LSP does for us, right? We have the list of suggestions and then we can select let me see main, right? Then fmt. Yeah, you can see it also has the auto import of the packages thanks to LSP. Right, then we can print a message that says this was awesome. I can't spell. Right, and then to run this guy, of course we go run. All right, come on, I need to see what am I doing? Where am I first? Okay, I need to see come on, feed into my sandbox, go. I called it, yeah, then run our Go project. This was awesome. Right, I mean, this is not the purpose of the video anyway. You can do much more than this was awesome. All right, but what I've just done is show you how I converted my project into I converted my terminal into an IDE, right, using Neovim. Right, yeah, so this doesn't take away your traditional IDE you use, like your VS Code or JetBrains IDEs. All right, even with those IDEs, you can also import the Vim plugins and use the Vim key bindings, all right, which is what I still do anyway, right, for certain projects, right. But yeah, I'm just fascinated with how I'm able to also do this using my terminal, right, and it's been very, very interesting for me, right. And yeah, I guess that's it. All right, so if you want to see more of this, just let me know in the comment, and we would catch you later, I guess. Cheers. Chill with me on my stroll up in soft waves.